My legal team has begun taking action. What's up, guys? So today we're gonna be talking about the James Charles drama continues. So let us not forget, Friday night at nighttime around 8 p.m., James Charles and Morphe released a statement basically saying they were gonna distance themselves from each other. The James Charles palette and accessories from Morphe, and like that was pretty much it. And I thought it was kind of interesting that they put it out so late in the evening on a Friday night and then we're going to the weekend. And I say that because a lot of like major outlets who have been reporting on this stuff, like they clock out. Like at Friday, they're gone, girl. They're gone home. They won't be back into the office until Monday. And that's like major publications just kind of work. They don't really work on the weekend. So come Monday, this tea with James Charles, which is basically today, Monday, is kind of like old news. But I just can't help but to feel that it was almost a strategic move by James Charles and Morphe to drop this statement of them not working together anymore on Friday night at 8 p.m. It was a good PR move, like strategic, to like lessen the blow of like people picking up the story because they won't be at work, right? But the thing is, like, commentary channels work through the weekend. Like, girl like me, I can't get a day off to save my life, girl. I would say that this is a continuation of the James Charles timeline of unfortunate events. I made like an hour-long video about James Charles breaking down the timeline. I spent a lot of time, at least 12 hours working on that video. It is now up. I'll put the link down below, so definitely check it out if you're into like long-form content. I think you might like that. Thank you for the privilege of your time. So watch that one if you want, and then come on back and grab a snack. All right, let's get on with this drama. All right, very quickly, this video is sponsored the house by Manscaped. So Manscaped has the amazing Lawnmower 3.0. It is an amazing shaver that's waterproof, TSA friendly, and rechargeable, and they're shipping to Australia, United Kingdom, and New Zealand. This is a product I've been using for such a long time, and I swear by it is amazing. So definitely check them out. I'll put the link down below, and thank you, Manscaped, for sponsoring this video. And a lot of times, if I don't post a video here, I post a video on my vlog channels. I'll put the link down below to the vlog channel. It's like my shopping channel where I just kind of like just post stuff that I buy or like whatever. Like I really do like that channel. It's like a fun getaway, you know, from all the drama. If you like shopping like me, I'm like obsessed, girl. A lot of people on the internet chimed in about James Charles' statement, right? So in James Charles' statement, a lot of people were saying that he just seemed kind of frustrated or like annoyed. Like, I'm annoyed that I have to address this. I'm annoyed that I have to talk about. Like, I know what that feeling is. Like, I totally get it. So T-Spill, a popular channel on YouTube, posted this. The statement was clearly written with anger. James speaks as if he's scolding his audience for speaking up about this. Centering his statement around a few fake stories was calculated, so it seems like he's the victim and being dropped. I further want to add, which I agree with her 100%, I further want to add that like in the article, he almost seemed like a little bit threatening, like, oh, my lawyers, I'm going to call my lawyers. It's like, it would be one thing if a lot of like commentary channels, news outlets were saying that this what happened when indeed he has evidence that it did not happen, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like that did not happen. But in this situation, James Charles went on camera and admitted that this happened and that he felt.
And it is ridiculously embarrassing to admit this, but I think I have to, and that is that I'm desperate. I do understand that with these videos coming to light, it's really starting to, not even starting, it's really looking, period, like I'm actively searching for younger people to be in a relationship with. And I just want to say firsthand that that is absolutely not the case. My hope has always been to be in a relationship with somebody around my age or older that I can relate to and that can make me laugh. And unfortunately, I've not been able to find that person yet, but the idea of actually being in a relationship became so important to me that I was willing to trust too quickly, miss out on red flags, and most importantly, not take the precautionary measures that really anybody, but especially somebody with a public platform, should be taking before talking to anybody. And there's no excuse for that. When I've watched videos in the past of people talking about serious topics, such as this one, it's always really bothered me when people would talk about conclusions or changes that they're going to make without actually talking about how they got there in the first place. So I think it's really important that I do that in this video. I just honestly think that I owe it to you guys to kind of walk you through the reflection that I've been doing, so you know that I'm taking this seriously.
And under the guise of like, I was desperate, you know, these people, they told me their age and then it was a lie and stuff like that. So that's what he basically said in his apology. So he admitted to talking to underage guys. But it would be different if he didn't say that and people were saying that with no proof. So I'm just gonna read it again. Here we go. Accountability is something that I've spoken about a number of times in the past. In my most recent video, I spoke about and took accountability for my past conversations I had with a few individuals who told me they were over the age of 18. As I said in the video, I can't show change overnight, but will over time. Since posting that video, many other people have come out forward with a series of misleading stories and false allegations which have been reported on by many people, creators, and news outlets. My legal team has begun taking action against those that have spread misinformation and or created completely fake stories as this has gone too far. These stories have caused many of my long-term partners to receive considerable negative feedback, one of them being Morphe. I've loved every moment working together and I'm beyond grateful for what we've created together. That being said, I reached out to them and we mutually agreed to wind down our James Charles Morphe collaborations, which is my only project with them. I'm continuing to take time away to learn, grow, and listen and look forward to coming back one day in the future as a better version of myself. So what's interesting in that statement is when he said, I reached out to Morphe, meaning like Morphe wasn't gonna do anything. James Charles reached out to himself, which I always like circling back. James Charles posted his video. I was kind of shocked. I think a lot of people were that he even made a response because I don't think he was going to. And in fact, he didn't make a response. I think he would be in a different position today than now. So by him making a response, it put a lot more light on the situation. And Morphe almost seemed like they were just going to continue as business. But in the statement, James Charles saying that he reached out to Morphe to go ahead and just stop the thing with the palette and stuff like that. But then he applies pressure by saying, you know, like some stories are fake and, you know, I'm gonna let my lawyers know to get at them. And I'm just kind of like that, I don't know, like that rebuttal within itself just seemed like he still hasn't grown yet. You know, like it would have shown a little growth if he would have just not said anything at all, let it ride out, just keep it going. But by him saying, basically what I got out of it was like, I'm gonna call my lawyers for y'all's fake news. And also I told Morphe that we need to stop production. Like it was kind of like that in a sense, which I don't think needed to be said at all. Does that make sense? If I'm wrong, let me know. And like, I didn't go to the best schools, girl, and stuff like that, so I don't really know how to word things appropriately, but one of my favorite YouTubers, Jen Loves, I love her so much. She's an amazing creator here on YouTube. I feel like she doesn't get enough credit, whatever. I love her so much, but she posted this on her Twitter. She said, I get that James Charles may feel frustrated, that lies may have been told, and that he's losing contracts. I get that. I get that he may want to clear his name on some allegations that he feels are false. This is not the time. This is the time to own up to your ish, that's it. As the saying goes, you make your bed, now you have to sleep in it. Maybe some people are lying, but that doesn't change the ones that are true. Even if it's painful, you have to internalize when you screw up, especially when it hurts other people, so that you don't do it again. It isn't about the lies right now, it's about the truth. Growth is painful. It sucks, I get it, but it's important. I hope you grow, James Charles, I really do. And I think that was like very, 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 very extremely well said. And without like being mudslinging, without adding fuel to the fire, I kind of felt like that was a really good expression, like very well thought out. I don't know if she just did it on a whim or actually thought about it, but I think that's what a lot of people are kind of feeling in that situation. I also feel like James Charles will take time. And I think maybe I'll make a video about like, you know, what's next for James Charles? Like, where do you possibly go from here now that you've been accused of these things, you admitted it, then past behaviors, it's like what happens now to James Charles? You know, I always kind of feel like people don't get canceled, they cancel themselves, right? So I think that James Charles would definitely take some time away from the internet. I don't know if that's gonna be a month, 6 months, or a year, or maybe even longer than that. Like I have no idea. Like we have lost so many YouTubers, like Jenna Marbles has backed away from YouTube. Jeffree Star don't even post that much on YouTube. James Charles stepped away. Shane Dawson stepped away. And you got Tati Westbrook stepped away. It's like all these major players are just like backing away from YouTube because I don't really know. It's just maybe the community has gotten a little bit too toxic, but then at the same time, I feel like YouTube is a mirror. It's like YouTube. So I guess like what he put out there, it came back. I don't know. Like I really wish I had all the answers, and it really just breaks my heart on how everything like ended up, you know? But I do feel like he'll take some time off from YouTube and then he'll come back, right? I think that James Charles, from a financial standpoint, is really well off. Like he could afford to step away from YouTube for a while and just chill, you know? I think a lot of YouTubers don't have that luxury of stepping away because that's how they make their earnings and stuff like that. That's how they make their living. So I don't know, I just find the whole thing interesting from like a human behavior, psychological standpoint. But I do feel personally from reading James Charles' response that it came across kind of like snarky, like, you know, it's like, I don't know, he just could have worded it better if by just not saying anything at all. Right? I think that actions speak louder than words, and I think that he didn't have to say anything in that statement, and then by him saying that, it just caused more drama, and then here we are on through the weekend, and this is what's happening now. Morphe, as of the time of making this video, has not discounted any of his palettes right now, so that's interesting. I do expect to see maybe, because Morphe is in the business of making money, so I do expect to see the James Charles Morphe palette to be discounted, which then raises another question. People are gonna say, no, don't even discount it, just stop selling it, periods. And there's that whole thing too. But following what Morphe's done in the past, like when they ceased production and working with Jeffree Star, they put his stuff on sale and clearance like 50% off. And that ultimately sold out super quick. So it almost raises the question that like, is causing the drama to the point where you have to stop working with the influencer, but then you put the products that were like $80, $50 all the way down to like 20 bucks, which ultimately sells out the product. So what I do expect the James Charles palette to be sold out if it was to be discounted by 50%, or ultimately just kind of like final, this is it, what we got, we're gonna sell it all, like we're done. So I still think that Morphe would still make a profit or break even. It's interesting, right? It's almost that part from an economic standpoint raises a whole nother like question too. Like, should we just discount the palette, or should we just not sell it at all and take it off the books? So that's interesting. So let me know what you think about all that. I think I've raised some very interesting questions or like conversations in the comments down below. Please be respectful and leave them. We're gonna continue this conversation over on Twitch, so I'll leave the link down below if you wanna follow me on Twitch. I go live and we can talk about it more there. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Love you so